So today I am up Mount Taranaki, or a good way of Mount Taranaki. I'm not quite at the top, that's still quite a long way up, but doing a road test and enjoying some spectacular, if rather hazy, views. On a good day you can see other volcanoes from here, but it is not to be today. But still a pleasant, quiet, peaceful place to be. And today I will be driving over to the other side of the country once I finished hooning about in the Ford Falcon. Good times. I found some Welsh graffiti, so I'm not the first Welsh person here. Right, we are going to drive that away, quite a long way. So we've got 438 kilometers to cover today, apparently. It's going to take about 6 hours. Got a long way to go. I've been busy driving up a volcano this morning, but now it's all about the driving, covering some vast distance to get over to the other side of New Zealand. I thought it might take a different route, to be honest. There is a shorter, quicker route, which involves driving all the way back down to Palmerston North again. But I think, looking at it, it's going to try and take me down the Forgotton World Highway. So if it does that, I look forward to showing you much more of it. So I shall carry on and see where we go. Yeah, down to 437 kilometers now, 6 hours of driving. So I'm going to put about an hour in and stop for lunch, and then spend the afternoon cruising along in my beautiful Ford Fairmont AU. I'm now in Cardiff, which is a bit peculiar, but we're going to do a slow drive by here. I've been warned the chap is a bit tetchy, so we're not going to linger. But yeah, look at some of this old ramble with a Taranaki in the background. Former dairy, now all closed down. Just remarkable, but we need to push on. Come on, Betty! Oh, I do like this car. And after passing through Cardiff, now we come into Stratford, which is most unlike the Stratford back in the UK, the Stratford-upon-Avon. It is sort of slightly modelled on it, as in they've got street names that are often Shakespeare characters, so nothing else has got a sense of humour. That's a Toyota Blade in front of us, which is like an Auris, but comes with either a 2.4 litre 4-pot or a 3.5 litre V6, I think, are the engine options. They look incredibly bland, but I imagine they're not that bland to drive. Oh yes, I can see Juliet Street coming up. It's quite a nice little town, actually. I like it a lot. It's got lots of little folksy little businesses here, craft beers. Shout out to Forgotton 23. It's one of the little brewery companies here. Had a play with his car earlier today, so that was fun. But yeah, it's a nice little town. You may be able to see a clock tower in the distance. Apparently they're going to move that because people come to look at it. Apparently doors open and things come out, and you know, it's like a giant cuckoo clock, really. 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock every day, which sadly is nowhere near now. But the crowds cause such issues, they're going to move the clock tower. So it's a very Kiwi solution there. There we go, Forgotton World Highway. Apparently that's what the sat-nav fancies today. My sat-nav does like a scenic route. I'm still using Waze, and yeah, it often likes to get out into the back of beyond. It understands me well, I guess. Here we go. State Highway 43, the Forgotton World Highway begins. And the story of it is, they forged this road with great difficulty through the countryside, because you will soon see that the countryside is rather interesting here, and eventually got it done, but then coast roads were improved, road building techniques improved, and so they ended up with a road that no one was using, hence why it's called the Forgotton World. And some tiny little towns along it. We're going to go and look at some, but one in particular, it has a very interesting story behind it, so we'll go and look at that. It should be fun. But there is a section that is still gravel. You see that last gas for 150 kilometers. There is yeah, not much along this road, so here we go into the back of beyond. But initially it all feels very hobbity, very undulating grassland, and I haven't been that far along it. Came along in the Citroen CX the other day, as you do, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how much more of this road we can see. Yeah, it's very twisty, very much not like most New Zealand roads. There's a lot of very straight New Zealand roads. This one has some bite to it potentially. Gosh, that's brave. Cycling the Forgotton World Highway. This kind of reminds me of the UK in places, the rolling green lush landscape. The horrendous road surface, slightly less, although the surface dressing is sadly becoming more common in the UK as a way of saving money. But yeah, this is lovely. I've not really encountered anywhere quite like this in terms of roads in New Zealand. Like I say, it's usually just big deserted stretches of highway between major population centres. Didn't quite mean second. Come up to Strathmore Saddle, where we came in the Citroen CX just yesterday, in fact. Sorry for not talking much, I'm having to concentrate. This is the summit, and yeah, away the land goes into the distance. This is now the furthest I've driven down this road. A few people have mentioned this road, so yeah, thank you for thinking of me. Oh, how I wish I was in the 2CV. Much as I like Betty the Fairmont, handling isn't her strongest suit. I'm just missing the comedic levels of body roll. Poakura saddle, and the map is looking very twisty again. Oh, second is what I want, not first. This road is exhausting. My stomach muscles are getting a serious workout. It's been a lovely flowing section of bends. You can kind of carry your speed around them. Not that I need to carry speed in this because it's got so much torque you can easily get it back again. But, oh, that's a huge fun. Okay, temporary bridge made out of wood. Ooh. Creaking noises are interesting. It's still all of the wiggly, this road. I'm having a hard time of it here. Oh, I can feel your sympathy. Jeepers, the route is getting even more wiggly. Ah, Whangamomona saddle. That's where we're heading. Hope the one pub in the town is open, because on one day of the week the owners of the pub go and do the shopping for the whole town apparently. As they're so cut off. Look, I just want to get my money's worth out of those 2 new tyres. That's what this is about. Oh, this road is a challenge. Must be horrendous for that truck driver coming down here. Blimey. Whoa. Look at the layers of sediment in that. Fascinating. No idea why he stopped, but I'm glad he did. Probably just cooling his brakes down. Oh, here we go. Whangamomona. Now, if we just pull in here, you'll see these toilets. It says Republic of Whangamomona, and that's because apparently Whangamomona, there was a bit of a boundary dispute, and in the end they said, oh, stuff this, we're fed up of you meddling, we'll just have our own republic. And so they did. So technically I'm not in New Zealand anymore, I'm in the Republic of Whangamomona. And there is the hotel where hopefully I can achieve some lunch. Parking seems fairly relaxed here. Oh, there's a car park up there. We'll go and park in there. Or maybe I'll spin it round for a photo right in front of the hotel. Time to continue. And I have just noticed that Nissan Patrol is a 4.8. That's pretty beefy. Right. Look out for all the traffic. They have all these stops for the railway, but as far as I know, there is no railway. There's little golf carts that you can hire and go up and down the railway. But as long as you keep an eye out for those, then I'm going to continue ignoring those stops. I could hear something squealing. I think it might be the fan for the air conditioning. Right, we should carry on. Still 354 kilometers to go. I've had my lunch, so I feel suitably refreshed and full of food, so I'm probably not going to hoon it quite so much, he said. So we've reached Tora saddle, and there goes the Nissan Maxima that just pulled out in front of me while I was doing 80 kilometers an hour. That was exciting. Wow. This is definitely what you'd call remote. Go. The tunnel. Hobbit's Hole. Yeah, that is with my lights on. You can probably see better than I can because I'm wearing sunglasses. There we go. That was the Hobbit's Hole tunnel. Whoa! I slow down for cows. Much as I like beef, I don't want to make any today. We have run out of sealed surface. Next 16 kilometers are on gravel. Apparently the government has said that this now needs to be graded properly and a sealed surface. It's going to be a big old job to do. I mean, you're so far from town. As my pal I was staying with, Pete, pointed out, you've got to bring the workers in kind of every day, and we're about an hour and a half from civilization either way at the moment. Tarmac. Oh, that's something of a relief, I must admit. Yeah, driving on gravel is a nervy business. So I've got to give way even though I can't see the other end of the bridge. That's marvellous. Thankfully, not very much traffic. So now we're at the other side of the Forgotton World Highway. And it's certainly been a spectacular old day. We still haven't got any mobile phone reception though, so I'm not quite back in civilization yet. 321 kilometers to go. Oh, we're at Taupo. And that has been quite a drive. That's been about almost 190 kilometers, I think, we've covered today so far. So far taken 3.5 hours. Still got 273 kilometers to go, but the going should be a little better from now on. But this is the end of the Forgotton World Highway. Gosh, that has been a drive. That was definitely about enough, I think. There we go, we've reached State Highway 4. The Forgotton World Highway ends. And yeah, Betty looks fairly adventured. She's absolutely plastered in dust after that gravel section. Poor Betty. But nonetheless, she seems to be running okay. Yeah, dusty as anything. Right, we shall push on. Now we're on State Highway 41, making our way all the way over to State Highway 1 again. Still very, very remote here. But there isn't really any easy way of getting across New Zealand right here in the south of the North Island. All the roads seem to go up and down, so I'm having to try and cut my way across. It's not proving easy, but still 252 kilometers to go. Just having a quick break at the famous Lake Taupo, which is enormous. I've got hills in the distance. This is the Waihi Scenic Reserve. I might just have a quick stretch of the legs. Now, I've still got quite a lot of miles to go, so we won't be exploring Lake Taupo today. I do hope to. I'm certainly hoping to see more of it, but really we're just driving past today as I make my way down to Hawke's Bay. So with that big journey out of the way, I can then think about how it's best to explore this area. So today's just road tripping, so I'm afraid it's much of this same angle, but nonetheless it's interesting. Still got 211 kilometers to do today. And here we are, we've reached State Highway 1 again, our old friend. I don't think we've travelled on this part of it before. I could be wrong. But we are going towards Taupo, and this tells you something of the size of the lake. Taupo itself is still about 60 kilometers away, so yeah, it's big. So Palmy North is now behind us, and yeah, we are, I guess, in the middle now, still with 206 kilometers to go. Oh sorry, Taupo is now only 50 kilometers away. Mark 1 Isuzu Trooper. Citroen C6. Oh, I'm glad I was recording at that moment. Incredibly, that isn't the first one of those I've seen. Yeah, there's a lot more interesting stuff going on now, because suddenly there are other vehicles about. You'll notice I've pretty much ignored the Maserati that just went the other way. Travelling right along the coast of Lake Taupo at the moment, if you can call it a coast. It really is quite expansive, is the word I would use. Seems quite appropriate. So I've dipped in and out of State Highway 1 on this trip. Seen both extreme ends of it, right up to the top at Cape Reinga, all the way down to the very bottom of it at Bluff, near Invercargill. But at the moment we're just using it to get to the next junction, I think. I still haven't worked out if I'm going north or south. Napier, oh, no fuel for 130 kilometres. We've still got half a tank. We're okay. 158 kilometres to go today. At least that Nissan Tida can get a bit ahead of me because it's been bugging me in quite serious ways. Carry on towards Napier. We're actually going a bit beyond Napier because we are now definitely heading in a southerly direction, and I'm stopping slightly south of Napier, but want to come back up to Napier because Napier is meant to be a very interesting place. See, it's the Thermal Explorer Highway. This area is fairly active volcanically. I've already had good whiffs of sulphur as we were coming past Lake Taupo. The town of Taupo was to the left just before we got to that roundabout. We didn't actually pass through it, we bypassed it. But yeah, all sorts of thermal stuff going on. So next few days promise to be quite interesting, but I'm getting a little wary now because I think it's today the 4th. No, it's the 5th already. Blimey. I fly out of here in 15 days, so I've got to get cramming to make the most of the Kiwi experience before it ends. I can't believe 3 months is almost gone. Gosh. Oh jeepers, you're not missing much. 95 kilometers until the next junction, which is State Highway 2 again, as we hurtle along State Highway 5. So yeah, over 100 kilometers between junctions and nothing. Not very much petrol, though oddly there are EV charge points along here. Interesting. Well, down to, oh, let's pull that back up again, because I've forgotten my numbers. About an hour of driving, 83 kilometres to go. This Nissan Tida is being a pain in the backside again. It actually just blocked me from overtaking fairly recently. I was not particularly amused. It just keeps on going slightly slower than I want to go. Yet we get to a straight section and woof, they're off. That is quite the view. It's all a bit hazy in the distance, but can see for miles. Well, we could. I finally managed to get past the Tida. The brute power of Betty de Fairmont proved too much on an uphill slog. And even better, someone else got past them, so we've got a buffer between me and them, because the Tida had been tailgating me during the section where we were all stuck in slow traffic. And frankly, I've seen that Tida right up the back of quite a few cars. He says getting far too close to the vehicle in front, and slightly alarming, so I'm glad I've got a buffer now. There we go, we have reached State Highway 2. And we're not awfully far away from the sea at this point, which means we have pretty much gone coast to coast, which is probably why I'm feeling so tired. It's now about 20 past 5 in the afternoon. Been on the road since 11. We've still got 36 kilometers to go, but yeah, it's all looking pretty good. Yep, that is definitely the sea. Wow, coast to coast. So you're going to have to wait for Napier. We are blasting past down to Hastings, but Napier will be well worth a visit. To give you a bit of background, Napier was pretty much destroyed entirely in the 1920s by a huge earthquake, and was rebuilt in the modern style, which was Art Deco at the time. So it should be a very interesting place to visit. I'm looking forward to it very much, even though I'm more of an Art Nouveau man, if I must say so myself, which I must because there is no one else present. So I'm sorry it's been yet another boring day of staring out the windscreen, but to be honest, that's been what it has been for me as well. Just covering the miles today to get over this side, so I've got a bit of time to explore this side before I head up towards Auckland via Rotorua and a few other places along the way. So thank you very much for watching. We'll do some exploring in the next video, and I look forward to seeing you in it, or rather I look forward to you seeing me in it. I've been told off about this ending. Farewell.